My name is Reginald I. Massengale. The I stand for Israel. And the age is 53. Occupation, unemployed at the time. I was born in Dallas, Texas, August 17th, 1971. About a month and a half ago, or more, I was experiencing shortness of breath and high heart rate. It got progressively worse. I was having a hard time breathing. I was at a point where I couldn't walk. I didn't think nothing of it at the time. It slowly got worse and worse and worse to the point where if I went from bathroom to living room, I'm sitting down, feeling like I ran a mile. I'm out of breath. I didn't understand what was going on then. At the time, I thought it was the weight. I knew I had to go to the hospital and get checked out, find out what was wrong. I asked my homeboy Gabriel to take me to the hospital, which was a Saturday. My homeboy Gabriel dropped me off at the emergency room at Antelope Valley Medical Center. I didn't even make it in the door properly without having to get put in a wheelchair and wheeled in. The nurses met me at the front door because I explained to them I was having shortness of breath. Took me to get an EKG or EEG, I forget which it was. As soon as I finished taking the test, they immediately admitted me into the hospital. Within 20 minutes, I was in the emergency area waiting for a bed to open up. So I was taken to a room that following Sunday morning. Docs gave me a series of tests. My heart was pumping at over 150 beats a minute, which is very dangerous. They ran tests on my blood to diagnose what was going on with me. And the conclusion was I had hyperthyroidism. The thyroid produces a hormone that controls your heart rate. And mine was overproducing that hormone, which sped up my heart. My lungs weren't able to keep up with my heart. Therefore, I had an extremely hard time breathing. Even when I was sitting still, I would have a hard time breathing. There was a point where I had to get oxygen to maintain my breathing. They gave me a series of medicines in the IV drip that were used to slow down my heart as well as bring my thyroid under control. The doctors were more sensitive to my situation and understanding what I was going through. They were informative and explained to me what the situation I was dealing with and what the possibilities could have been if I had not taken care of it. So I was in the hospital for a week. This whole experience has unnerved me a little, where I was told I could have had a stroke and maybe died from it if I had not taken care of it. I was told I'll be taking these medicines for several months. Some people say possibly a full year. If they don't work after that point, at that point, I may have to have a thyroidectomy, which means I'll be on hormonal therapy for the rest of my life at that point. But at this moment in time, I feel as if I will be dealing with this for the rest of my life, no matter what, however it goes. The nurses were nice. I used to laugh and joke with my nurses. We'd have long conversations. They were all cool, always pleasant to be around. I don't think I had a bad nurse while I was there. I, but I do think this will be affecting the rest of my life either way. They also was monitoring my blood sugar as well as my blood pressure. I have hypertension and I am diabetic. The only downside I had about the hospital stay was the meal plan. The food. Oh my God, the food. The food was a diabetic diet. I was on a diabetic meal plan, which means little to no flavor in each meal. It was not very filling. I was begging for a burger or some fried chicken while I was there, but didn't get it. The closest thing I got was a roasted chicken breast. Understandable, but I ate most of it. I didn't eat all of it, but they were nice enough after a couple of days to start giving me snacks. They did give me snacks to compensate later in the evening. Graham crackers, peanut butter, whatever. But like I said, for the most part, it was a good experience. I was discharged about a week later. If I didn't have Medi-Cal, I might be dead if I couldn't get the service I needed from the hospital to slow down my heart, to get my thyroid under control. I might have suffered a stroke and or died. Now, one thing that I found important in this is having Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal paid for my hospital stay and paid for my medicines that I'm taking right now. So without it, I may have had a huge bill and not be able to afford my medicine at this time, to which I am thankful for it. Mainly, I want to live. Now, all this has sort of affected how I feel about living and getting through life. It's my life. Part of me feels as if my body is betraying me for whatever reason. I don't know. People will tell me old age. But I guess mentally I don't feel old. And yes, I'm 53 years old, about to 54, but I want to see almost 100, not gonna lie. I feel like I still have a lot I can accomplish in that time frame. But with my body rebelling, it's a scary thought. There are things I want to do before I pass on. One thing is a project I've been working on. It's a literary project. It could be a novel, graphic novel, comic book series, and or animated series, or all four at one time. That is important to me and why I would like to keep on living. Plus the possibility of developing a relationship one day in the near future. What's scary about it is I don't want to die. I'm just not ready to go. That thought is something I'm not ready for yet. Spiritually, I believe, I understand what can happen, but mentally speaking, I'm just not ready to go. Not right now. I feel like I have some things I could accomplish on this planet before I check out.